Okay, what I'm going to do now is take a look at Saskia the Unyielding, the deck that is replacing Corvold in my suite of decks. So we'll start by looking at what is possible, what I've picked out to go in. Let's start by talking about Saskia. So what is she? She's a 4-color commander. Not a whole hell of a lot of those, are there? So black, green, red, white. Gets me a 3/4 vigilant, hasty human soldier. When she comes into play, I choose a player. Whenever creature I control deals combat damage to a player, it also deals admin damage to the chosen player. So I get 2 for 1. If Guinea's hiding behind his pillow fort, and I can't get to him, but if I can get to Cube, or I can get to Rahman, or I can get to Long Pete, then I can get to Evgeny sneakily through the back door and give him the beatdown he's looking for. So there's a lot of options with her, a lot of ways to build her. I decided to go tokens. I'm going to make her into a token deck. I'm going to go wide because I'm going to be attacking as many creatures as possible in order to make sure I hit somebody and then hit the second player. I also thought of putting some flicker effects, so if I need to, different points of the game, maybe I'd want to stop beating on somebody and flicker her. She comes to play and I choose another player. That's another possibility. So let's take a look at what I've got. First off, we'll put her there so we can look at her in all of her unyielding glory. So I thought of putting Roxanne in. I'm gonna have doubling season, no into procession, so anything that makes tokens, at some point should be making extra tokens. So Roxanne is 5 for 4/3 Kitty Druid. When she comes into play, I get a tapped colorless artifact named Meteorite. When Meteorite falls, it deals 2 damage to anything I want to hit, and when it untaps, I can then tap for 1 mana of any color. Whenever I tap an artifact token for mana, if she's in play, I get another type. So if I have a treasure token and I tap it and sacrifice it, do I tap the treasure token? Where's my pitiless plunder? Where's the dude that explains? Yeah, tap, sacrifice this artifact. So if I'm going to have treasure tokens, she would make them produce 2 mana. But she's only 1 creature. She only produces 1 token at a time when she comes into play or attacks. She costs 5, I'm not sure. So let's set her to the side. Think about her. Goblin Trenches. 2, sacrifice land, put 2 1/1 red and white goblin soldier creature tokens into play. So I eat my land, and I get creatures. Smash, and then eat more land, get more creatures, more smash. So I want to try this. I want to try this in this deck. I took it out of Aurelia because it wasn't necessary. Aurelia, the goblin tokens are so come up with so fast. I didn't have time for Goblin Trenches. I didn't even want to find it when I had the chance to look for it with Enlightened Tutor. Balin the Haymaker. So this little bastard. Green, red, white for 4/3 bunny warrior. Rabbit warrior. Bunny bun. My daughter said that looks like a chili pepper on the end of his stick. And I said, yeah, and he's going to shove the chili pepper up somebody's nose and it's red hot. And she said, ow, that probably hurt. Tap 2 and tap tokens on control, add 1 mana of any color, tap 3, draw a card, tap 4, put 3 +++ encounters in this guy, and he gains trample. Till end of turn. So he's weird, because it kind of fits in the deck, because if I have tokens, I can do stuff with them, more stuff with him. But making him bigger means I want to attack more with him. Maybe make him bigger. Maybe there's a commander deck to be had for Balin. Probably is. I don't want to do it right now. Anyway, so because I can tap tokens, so when they come into play, even if they have summoning sickness, I can tap them. He says, I don't give a shit if they have summoning sickness. You can tap them. Because it doesn't say they have to be non-summoning sick. I forget the term. I don't think there really was a term. There's summoning sickness, and there's not. It's kind of a binary. So I want to try him because he's funny. All right, this is stuff I had in that Tesa Orza Cyan deck. A lot of clerics. They're in the right colors, black and white, and they do cool shit. So maybe I should put them to work here, like decklist. Decklist, 5 for 3/4. Beginning of each end step, every single one. So if I make tokens on somebody else's turn, I get more tokens at the end of their turn. Sounds like a winning proposition to me. Okay, Tesa Karlov. If creature dying causes a triggered ability of permanently controlled to trigger, like Dictate of Erebos, if a creature controlled dies, everybody else sacrifices his creature. Oh, I should do this tomorrow when I'm not so tired anyway. Or just blaze through it. Fuck it. Creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanently controlled trigger. It triggers an additional time, so it would be two creatures that they would have to sacrifice to the Dictate of Erebos. And my creature tokens have Vigilance and Lifelink. More win, more smash, more adventure. Since I'm going to have tokens, a lot of them are going to be white. And I always need a way to control my opponent's creatures. So I might as well put Tesa in the deck. So she won't be the commander. She'll be one of the lieutenants. Select 3 white creatures, exile target creature from the game. Piss off. Whenever another black creature you control is put into a graveyard from play, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token flying into play. So I think I'm going to like her in this deck. 3 Absolution. My creatures get +1/+1. My opponent's creatures get -1/-1. Spend 4. Exile target card from the opponent's graveyard. If it was a creature, I create a 1/1 black and white spirit creature token flying. But it costs 6. Do I really want to spend 6 on this? Do I really want to spend 6? I don't know. So I'm going to put it over here with Roxanne as a possibility. Kaya, Geist Hunter, Kaya. So, creatures you control gain Death Touch, and that's kind of nice. One of them gets a +1/+ encounter. That's, yeah. Then all getting Death Touch is more interesting in this deck. Until the end of turn, if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many tokens are created. Yeah, twice as many. War Leader's Call. Your creatures get bigger. Whenever a creature comes into play under your control, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. It zaps them in the face. It kicks them in the dick. How about if I have more combat faces? What if I put Aurelia in this deck? I mean, she fits. Flying Vigilant Haste. Whenever she attacks the first time each turn, untap all creatures, even if they didn't attack. If I've got creatures tap abilities, Aurelia will untap them. As long as I tap them in my first main phase, my pre-combat main. And I get a second combat phase, so I can smash. Saskia deals damage to 2 people. And then I get to attack again. So I want to try her. Of course, this pile is going to be really big. And I'll have to cut it down. But let's keep going. This Aurelia is in bad condition too. It's one I had in... So I've got a box of cards from my daughter if she ever decides to play. I don't know if she ever will. Oh, there you go. You can see how bad it is there. It's dented. Like somebody bit into it. So I keep a box of cards for her in case she wants to learn how to play, so she can build her own decks. And that Aurelia was in there. And since she's not playing, I said, okay, fine. I'm taking that Aurelia, and I'm going to see if I want to put her into Saskia. Oh, there we go. That's good light. I like that. Wisp Drinker Vampire. Problem with her is, okay, so whenever another creature power 2 or less comes to play under my control, each opponent loses 1 and I gain 1. If I put in too many buff effects, if I put in too many, this creature gets +1/+1, all your creatures get +2/+2, when they come into play, they won't be 2 power or less. And so she won't trigger. So she is probably very quickly going to become not really obsolete, but subpar in the deck, because my creatures would be too big when they come into play. So then I'm down to spending 7 to give my creatures power to, which I won't have any if I have too many Anthem effects, and my creatures are all +2/+2 when they come into play. So if I play 1/1, it's a 3/3. Then I won't have any creatures power 2 or less to give. Yeah, she's not going to work. Not for very long. Necromancer's Covenant. When it comes to play, exile all cards the target player's graveyard from the game. Then put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play for each card. Move it this way. Each card. Remove all creature cards. No. Somebody's graveyard has to be kind of impressive to make this. They need at least 4 or 5 creatures to make this interesting, right? If they don't have 4 or 5 creatures in their graveyard, I really don't want to cast this because it won't have a lot of zombie tokens. So them having lifelink isn't really going to be that exciting. So let's put it over there. There it is, Dictated Verbos. Whenever creature control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature, and if dying would cause a triggered ability triggers an additional times this trigger, and then 2 creatures, sacrifice them, make them die, make them go away, get them out of my way, because Saskia is coming through to kick you in the jimmy. Yeah, that's going in. Okay, so I just complained about the zombie tokens. This costs 8, but I get 13 2/2 black zombie creature tokens that are tapped. And for 10, I can flash it back and do it again. Sounds like a good idea. Champion of Stray Souls. So this bastard, he costs 6. He costs a lot, but expends 5. Sacrifice X of the creatures. Return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. At instant speed. It does not say that's a sorcery. It does not say I can only do that during my turn. And then for 7, I can put him back on top of my library from my graveyard. Or, if I've got Vora Stronghold for 2, I can do the same thing. But anyway, he's kind of interesting, and I want to see if he works in this. There we go. Nadia's Nightblade. So Nadia's Nightblade is a 2 and a black, 1/3 elf warrior. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1, you gain 1. So this is good. It's not whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent. How would the wording be? The bullshit wording I hate. Each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Okay, they collectively lost 3. There's 3 of them. They each lost 3, but I only get 1. What kind of bullshit is that? But this it's 1 for 1. So I'm draining my opponents. Yep. Tokens. Grave Titan. Make zombies. Calculating Lich. You know, I'm putting a lot more zombies into this deck than I originally expected. Maybe I should just shove Necromancer's Covenant in there anyway. I mean, 5/5 Menacing Lifelink? That could be good, right? Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, that player loses 1 life. It'd be kind of cool if he did damage to them, and I had Necromancer's Covenant, so if he did damage and I gave him lifelink, that could be, wow, I could gain a lot of life pretty quickly. But he doesn't say that, does he? Fucking lazy bastard. Anyway, let's give him a go. Bitter Blossom. Beginning upkeep, you hurt yourself, and you get a flying creature to compensate. Plane of Earth. Okay, green has better options. Geist Honored Monk. Now, what I want to do is for the token generators, I want them to be either really cheap and efficient, and or I want them to break parity. So she, for 5, she comes into play. She's got Vigilance, and I get 2 1/1 spirit creature tokens. That's not quite the parity I want. Not quite what I'm looking for. I want something, if she put in 3 tokens, that would be more interesting. But because she only comes at 2, now if I have Anointed Procession, or Cheddarfang, or Doubling Season, okay, then she comes into play and I get 4. 1 on white flyers. But it's only if I have one of those in play. So do I want to count on that, or do I want to put it over here in the maybe pile? I think I made my decision. This is the maybe pile. Maybe it's the maybe pile. Okay, Clarion Spirit. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1. So this guy is cheap, and he's efficient, and if I'm casting more than 1 spell each turn, then I'm getting those spirits out quicker. So keep that guy in there because he comes down quickly. Marcher's Cause. Sack a creature, prevent all damage to creature or player from one source. Jesus Christ, it's late. Okay, so I've got tokens. I'm going to get hit. I can block with the tokens and then sack them and take no damage from the ones that do hit me. And it prevents all damage to a creature or player. So I can sack a creature and save somebody's ass if I need them to stay in the game to help me. Increasing Devotion. There we go. That's efficiency. I spend 5 and I get 5 creatures. Yes, I like that. And if I flash it back, I get 5 more. Probably not going to do that. I should probably... I'm going to have some kind of Eternal Witness or Timeless Witness in here to get shit back. Frontline Medic. Oh, this is good in Nalia. This is one of my favorite cards in Nalia. Whenever he and at least 2 of the creatures attack, and if I'm going wide of tokens, I'm going to have a lot of creatures to attack with them, and they'll all get indestructible until the end of the turn. And then he's got some other bullshit that doesn't really matter unless he was playing Tyranids and he hasn't counted his mana correctly, and he cannot pay 3. Smothering Tithe. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they may pay 2. They better not. If the player doesn't, which they shouldn't, I get a treasure, which I should, and then I can sack the treasure if I've got Roxanne, but she's in the maybe pile. Hello, little bug. There's a little bug on the table, some little gnat of some kind. I don't want to kill it, but I don't want it. Go away. Come on, piss off. Anyway, let's keep going. Elspeth Tyrell. So here we go. 5. +2, I gain 1 life for your creature I control. That could be quite impressive though if I have enough creatures. -2, get 3 1/1 right soldier creature tokens. -5, blow up everything except for lands and tokens. Yep, she goes in. Angelic Skirmisher. At the beginning of each combat, choose First Strike, Vigilance, or Lifelink. Creatures you control gain that ability till end of turn. That's a strong maybe. Mentor the Meek. He's got the same goddamn problem that Tithe Drinker, Blood Drinker, what the hell was she called? Wisp Drinker. He's got her same problem. If I have a bunch of Anthem effects, I'm not going to be having creatures with power 2 or less coming into play. They'll come into play automatically bigger, so I won't be able to pay 1 to draw a card. So he's not really useful, even though I did get the full art foil. Can't fucking play him. I should put him in Aurelia. I don't think I have that many Anthem effects in Aurelia. I'm just smashing with goblins. Little pissant bitches. Sun Titan. When Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return... What is it? Not Blasphemous Act. Pernicious Deed. You may return Pernicious Deed from your graveyard to the battlefield. For example, I've got Grave Titan, I'll have Sun Titan, I would like to have Inferno Titan, but I can't have Removal Titan because he's banned, so it's going to feel weird. If I've got 3 out of the 4, it's going to feel weird. If I have 2 out of the 4, it feels a little bit more balanced. It's the way I feel. So sue me. Conqueror's Pledge. Here we go. So, Increasing Devotion, I spend 5, I get 5. Conqueror's Pledge, I get 5, I get 6. But if I 6 more, If I spend 11, then I get 12. Interesting. Guardian of Faith. Now, this guy, reason I'm picking this guy is because the creatures phase out. So anything like Ghostway that exiles my creatures, my tokens just go poof and they're gone, and I have to start all over again, building my army. It's a pain in the ass, and I know better. So Guardian of Faith, he comes into play to save my team from a board wipe by phasing them out. Tokens phased out will phase back in. Tokens exiled just go poof, fuck off. So Guardian of Faith it is. Auric Champion. Protection with black and red. Whenever any other creature comes into play, you may gain 1 life per creature. Sounds like a bargain to me. Sounds like a good deal. Man, this pile is getting big fast. Yeah, he doesn't belong in there. Okay, Miri Angel. Whenever land comes into play, I can put a 1/1 white birdie with flying onto the battlefield. She makes bird tokens. She calls the birds to peck my opponents to death. In general, playing land at the rate most people play land, once every 3 turns, once every 5 turns maybe after the game gets going, and you're not drawing that much land. But if there's ways of getting more land into play, say sacrificing land and then suddenly getting them out of the graveyard en masse, then she becomes much more interesting. welcome to part 2 that I just spliced in. There's no real part 2, it's just a continuation. Let's keep going. Open the way. I forget who told me about this. One of the new guys has been paying attention to the channel, I think. And it's a good idea, so I bought one. Got a foil one. It looks pretty. I'm really happy I listened to him. I just wish I could remember his damn name. It's on my computer. My computer shut off because my wife is in bed sleeping, and that's where my computer is, and it makes a lot of noise because it has a lot of fans. So, So dude, thank you. Whoever you are. Anyway, let's open the way. Green, X. X can't be the greater than the number of players in the game. So it's typically going to be 4. So I'd pay this 6. Reveal cards on the top of your library and to reveal X land cards. Put them on the battlefield tab, any lands. If I hit my Gaia's Cradle, my Varolaz Stronghold, a basic swamp, and a taiga, they're all going into play. Tapped, but so be it. And the rest of the cards are going to the bottom of my library in a random order. I'm really not sure if I want to run this in this deck. I really don't know. I do like the way it looks though. I'm happy I bought it because it is pretty. Let's put it in the maybe, because I have to make cuts somewhere. Yo Mama's Reach? Oh yeah, I need ramp. Toski, Bear of Secrets. If I'm playing tokens, and I go wide, I can attack with Abandon. One of those creatures smash into anybody, I could draw a card. And no, that's dying. That doesn't double the trigger of Toski. Anyway, Toski. The secret squirrel. Alright, here we go. This is stuff now from Corvold. This is stuff I pulled from Corvold because it'll fit Saskia. Pitiless Plunderer and Chatterfang. Yes, I've got that combo. I'm going to be a dirty bastard and have this combo in here. So, Pitiless Plunderer, whenever another creature control dies, get a treasure. Chatterfang, whenever token comes into play, get a squirrel. So basically, you kick it off by spending a black and sacrificing a squirrel to give a creature plus X, neg X until end turn. He sees a creature dies, he gives you a treasure. Chatterfang sees a treasure, gives you a creature. You spend the treasure to kill the creature dies, you get a treasure. You spend the treasure, kill the creature dies, you get a treasure. And meanwhile, you're just doing this, giving something plus X, neg X until it has neg 1 and dies, and then you go to the next creature and you burn that one down. Then you go to the next creature and you burn that down. So these two guys are best friends. And it's not good to break up best friends, man. That's just rude. Okay. She's a 3/3 with first strike and death touch. So that means unless the other thing is indestructible or has death touch. Sorry. Unless it's indestructible or has first strike itself, she's going to kill it. But she just doesn't feel right in this deck. She doesn't feel right with what I'm building. So she goes in the maybe pile. Okay, Marin. Whenever another creature control dies, you get. It doesn't say non-token. I like that. So I can just put her in here as kind of a free way of maybe, if she works, inshallah, getting my creatures back. Why not? Let's try it. Soul Ring, yeah. Oh. Where did I get the other Grave Titan from? I started with a Grave Titan, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so let's put the foil one in with it. Where did I get the second Grave Titan from? I don't think I have a deck missing one. Huh, odd. Spontaneous Generation. Put a 1/1 green sapling creature token to play for each card in your hand. So, the more cards I have in my hand when this goes off, the better. Putrefy. Saskia has a black-red or black-green in her Identity she also has black-white. I should get a Mortifi. I should get a Mortify to put in here too. Tireless Provisioner. Neverland comes in the battlefield under control. Create a food and or a treasure token. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not and or. If it said and or, she just fucking broken. That's what. Just fucking broken. So let's put her in here. See if it works. They're not creatures. They're not creatures, but it's a side benefit. It's an add-on. Maybe she's not worth a slot for the add-ons, but we'll see. Sark and Vol. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and haste until end of turn. So if I make a bunch of tokens and I want to smash with them, Sark and Vol says, dude, I can help you out, man. I got your back, brah. So Sark and Vol's got my back. Deathrat Shaman. I really don't know if I need this guy in here. He does deal with graveyards. That's true. He also dies to a stiff wind. That is also true. So let's put him in the maybe. Conduit of Worlds. Okay, I can play lands from my graveyard, so I can eat lands with the Goblin Trenches, make tokens, and then play those lands from my graveyard. I can also choose a non-land permanent in my graveyard, and if I have not cast a spell, I may cast that card as my only spell that turn. So basically, it's just really wordy of way of saying tap, choose target spell, target non-land permanent graveyard. That's the only fucking thing you can cast. And if you cast anything before this, you can't do it. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, Deranged Hermit comes into play. I get 4 1/1 squirrels, so he's efficient. 5, I get 5 creatures. Bang, done. Let's go. What else? When she comes into play with her boyfriend up there, I go find a forest, put it into play, untapped, and then keep going. Pernicious Deed. X, sacrifice Pernicious Deed, kill things. Siege Gang Commander. I need some reanimation in this deck. I really do. I haven't decided on the full reanimation suite. I did put Marin in the pile to be utilized, so we'll see how that works. When he comes into play, I get 3 1/1 red goblins. I can spend 1 in a red, sacrifice a goblin, and he deals 2 damage to anything I damn well feel like. Ragnar Genesis. So this is Fog. Fog, fundamentally, in effect, where instead of just creatures don't deal any damage, I create a bunch of spiders that don't take damage that turn, and I keep them. I keep those spiders. I keep those tokens. That sounds pretty good. If my opponents are attacking me with a bunch of creatures, if they were doing a token strategy too, then I get to match them 1 for 1, mono on mono, and take no damage. Dual Caster Mage. Fuck your Cyclonic Rift. Mine goes off first. Goblin Bombardment. Sacrifice creature. Oh, I've got... Dude, do you know how long it took me to make 20 tokens? You were sitting here playing the game. Yeah, I've got... And you're going to board wipe? You're going to... Fuck you. You're going to board wipe? Take 20 points of damage. Yep, that's what he'll do. Alright, Helm of Possession. 4. You may choose not to untap it if you don't feel like it during your untap step. Sacrifice creature. Grab something more interesting and keep it until you decide to let it go and get something even more interesting. Artifact Mutation. This is really impressive when somebody plays something like Hedron Archive, or anything that costs 5 or more. Coat of Arms, Vanquisher's Banner. Green, red, you blow it up and you get a bunch of tokens. It's great at instant speed. Didn't I already put a Dictate of Erebos in here? Do I have an extra Dictate of Erebos? I did not. Where did I get the... So that's Grave Titan and Dictate of Erebos. Where the hell did I get the extra one from? Okay, I think I know what's going on. So Dictative Erebos, anyway. I had one in Tesa. And I also had one in Corvold, because I was building them. Corvold was finished before Teysa. And Teysa, after I finished her, I realized that the idea just doesn't work anymore, and I'm not really doing the best job I can as a deck builder for trying to force it to work. But she had a Dictative Erebos. And Corvold had a Dictative Erebos, for obvious reasons, because he likes to sacrifice things. So let's keep going. Lavalanche. I've only had this go off really effectively once, but it's so memorable. I did it for 12. So I had 15 mana, and I Lavalanche somebody for 12. So they took 12, and all of their creatures took 12. And I'm pretty sure they didn't have anything indestructible at the time. Jesus. Or with protection from the irrelevant colors, so it just burnt out their army. Burnt out their army and punched them in the face. And it's just so pretty. I like the art. I understand it's hard to tell what's going on, but there's a city and the lava is just burning down the city. I don't think me bringing it to the camera is getting any closer. If you go online, look up the